Broadcasting from... Stan, put down that lightsaber. You've got a show to do. From the Solo Studios here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, in the center of North America, on this little planet we call Earth, this is the Solo Show. On this edition, Stan has two for the price of one, as Jeff and Marcus Moliterno sit in two co-host chairs and discuss their favorite Pixar movies. So now, please welcome your host, a man who built and owns a Stormtrooper leg lamp. True fact, friends, Stan Solo.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Solo Show. I have two co-hosts with me today. Count them, two. I had to get an extra seat in the Solo Studios. It's pretty tight in here today. Whew. I got Jeff and his son Marcus Smith. No, that's not right. How do you pronounce your last name?
Let's hear you slaughter it first. Go ahead. Just try it once. Go ahead.
Smith. It's Smith,
Yeah,
right?
Smith. Okay.
Moliterno.
Yeah, I know. I've heard you slaughter it several times.
I slaughtered my own last name. Never mind everybody else's. So you guys have a live show that you do every Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Monday nights.
You try to do it every night. Sometimes I have to message you, go, hey, you doing a show tonight? I haven't seen you yet.
Yeah, we usually try and give a warning if if life happens and we don't have a show going on a Monday night. But yeah, typically Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. You'll find me and Marcus on the WDWPOV Facebook page for our live stream show. And we've got the Facebook page, we've got the group, we've got Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, website. All of it's just easy to remember. 6 letters, WDWPOV, and you're all set.
Exactly.
So.
And it's a fun live show. I like to tune into that one. It's not so much because of Jeff, to be honest. It's more because of his son, Marcus.
Woo! His head's getting swollen right now. It's big.
Marcus is very entertaining on that show. Marcus, tell us a little bit about WW Point of View and your thoughts on it.
I'm kind of just there.
And that's what's great about it. He's just there. But one thing that now, Jeff, you and I are kind of old school, and we go a AT-AT for Imperial Walker. We call it an AT-AT.
An AT-AT, right? That's what it is. It's an AT-AT.
And I've heard Marcus on the show, and he always says AT-AT.
You just had to drag this argument out again, didn't you? I was fine leaving it out to die and wither somewhere where we never had to talk about it again. But no, you just had to pull it out again.
Okay. I just want to play something for you. Okay. So this is a little recording. It's from Doug Chang from Lucasfilm, which I met. I ran into him and I shook his hand, got a photo with him, and nice. Madeline from Lucasfilm, and they did a show or like a thing on YouTube where they went through every single Stormtrooper's armor and explained it. Wow. Okay, going from Clone Wars all the way through Captain Phasma, right through Rise of Skywalker with the red trooper. So I just want to play this little bit for you, okay? Hopefully you can hear it.
First time that we see the AT-AT drivers in their vehicles.
She said it twice. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Was that the original intent back in the 80s or 70s when the
listen?
Well as the chest armors.
Hang on, let me play it again.
Oh!
So the second time, she says AT-AT or AT-AT, but she calls it an AT-AT. So. Yeah.
It's a personal preference thing at this point.
Yeah, Marcus is saying, personal preference, I guess. I don't know.
So I think she just said AT-AT just in case Marcus was listening. She didn't want to get into it. But anyways, I guess we can't rest it because originally she says AT-AT and then she says AT-AT again and then she says AT-AT or
AT-AT or AT-AT.
The question still swirls.
Yeah.
Why doesn't George Lucas just come out and say it's one or the other at this point?
We'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
Got to get it.
I really wish when I ran into Doug that I thought to ask that.
Next time.
I was just shocked I ran into him. I said, hey, you're Doug Chang. He goes, yeah, that's what people tell me. And then he was super nice. And I said, hey, can I get like a photo with you, a selfie? And he goes, yeah, sure. And I got his autograph and all that. It was really,
that's cool. That's
I really fanboyed over him. I got to tell you. So you also have a podcast that you're a part of a group of, kind of like I'm with Grand Circle Tour. You're with the Monorail Tales.
Monorail Tales Group. Yeah, we generally they put out a show pretty much once a week. It's mainly, I think, Mondays, but it can vary a little bit. Sunday nights, Mondays. But we usually record Tuesday nights. Sometimes they have some specials that come out. Trip reports or special events, things like that. But yeah, it's another group that I'm a part of, and enjoy doing some podcasts with them as well.
Yeah, they're a fun podcast. If you're looking for a third podcast after listening to the solo show and Grand Circle Tour, you could tune into Monorail Tales.
That's right.
But that's great, and you guys are just sailing along over there too.
We're having fun. Monday nights, doing the WDWPOV thing and streaming that every Monday night. So that's been fun. We're doing and we started this year. Simulcasting it both on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you happen to watch on YouTube, you can do that as well.
On POV?
Yeah, on the POV one.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So when you're watching us live on Monday nights, you can catch it either way on Facebook or on YouTube.
I should start doing that too. I should start doing that now that's Disney Night Live. We do that. I don't know. I've never even talked about that on this show ever.
Yeah, it's a product called Restream is what we use.
Okay.
A little plug for them, even though I'm not getting.
Stop plugging everyone.
I plug everybody, and I get zipped. Anyway.
All right, sounds good. Plugs aside, we have to get your edible mouse ears, and other than that, we're good. Okay, that's all the plugs are done.
Okay.
Marcus had a question.
Should we get to the topic at hand?
You have a topic?
We do.
Not just plugging each other.
Unlike our Monday night shows, which just sort of go off in all kind of different directions. But yeah, we do actually have a topic tonight.
Okay, what's the topic today?
Do you know what it is? Something about Pixar, right?
Movies.
Pixar movies.
Pixar movies. Okay.
Yes.
What makes them so great?
Pixar, just Pixar in general. We're going to talk a little bit about some of our favorites, some of our worst favorites in different categories.
I don't think that's grammatically correct.
What's that?
Worst favorites?
Worst favorites.
That means you still like them, but it's the worst out of all your favorites.
Okay, the ones we like, the ones we hate.
There we go.
There you go. Okay.
I don't like the word hate. Let's not use hate.
Hate is a harsh word.
Let's use
strong word.
Don't appreciate as much.
Yeah, dislike. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Okay. So
no more hate. We're not haters here.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the Pixar movies we enjoy and the ones that we don't enjoy quite so much. That's our topic today.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite roll off the tongue like that harsher word we just denounced earlier, but.
But we figured. Go ahead.
How about the history of Pixar? You guys know about that?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. We got a little bit of background we could start off with.
Let's start there.
We'll move on from there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've actually got this right here.
You got this. Go ahead.
Yeah, we started as a part of Lucasfilms Ltd.
Which is hard to believe when you think about it.
Back in 1979.
1979.
It was part of the computer division, and they were called the Graphics Group.
That's a pretty fancy name. The Graphics Group. That's what it was called, huh? The Graphics Group. Okay, so Pixar.
THX or 1138 or a Lucasfilm in there. It was just called Graphics Group.
The Graphics Group.
They didn't have a cool name. Skywalker Sound.
No wonder they sold it.
Yeah. We got to come up with something better than this.
I don't like the sound of that graphics.
We'll let Steve Jobs take it.
Yeah.
Then like in 1986, Steve Jobs basically has it formed into its own company or corporation.
Okay. So 70, what started in 79, you said?
79. And then in 86,
okay, so
became its own corporation.
It became its own corporation. Steve Jobs grabbed it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
so. Is it called Pixar yet, or is it just Steve Jobs Business School?
I'm not sure.
Computer graphics.
Probably the Steve Jobs Computer Graphics Group.
I think when he took over, or at least became a major shareholder, it was Pixar.
Okay.
Because there are some shorts that they made before even Disney started doing anything with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then we come up to like 2006 and Disney buys them.
Well, you jumped way ahead on me.
Yeah, I know.
You jumped way ahead on me. Well.
Okay. That was like the biggest major change to them.
No, I've got a few.
Pixar actually gets bought out.
I got some things to interject then in between.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, go ahead. Interject all you want.
Okay. Well, I didn't realize that they were around that far. That long ago, but
long time.
But Pixar, as we know it, not so much the Steve Jobs version or the Graphics Group version of them, but the Pixar version, as we know them, was we're coming up on about 25 years now when they released their first major full-length film, which we all know is Toy Story. That was back in November 22nd, 1995. So yeah, just a little under 25 years ago now, if I'm doing my math correctly. Some of the early directors, I think we all know their names. Some have become a little infamous due to other things, but John Lasseter started off with the first three films: Toy Story, A Bug's Life, and Toy Story 2.
Interesting enough, Josh Whedon was one of the writers on the original Toy Story.
I saw that as I was reading through some notes on that. Yeah, Josh Whedon. I was like, really?
Yeah,
really?
I was shocked to hear that.
I never knew that until tonight. Yeah, that was crazy. And then we got Pete Docter, basically Andrew Stanton, Brad Bird, of course, with The Incredibles. It started off a little slow. I mean, they had the first one, 1995. It was 3 years until they came out with the second movie, A Bug's Life. And then things started to ramp up a little bit more, and they started having a movie out maybe every year or two. And it just, it's an incredible list here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing here, but you got Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Cars, Ratatouille, WALL-E, Toy Story 3, and then we get to what I consider the
darkest day of
dark day of Pixar history. We're talking June 24th, 2011, the day of the release of Cars 2. The day that we found out that Pixar was not an infallible company who just kept pumping out winner after winner after winner. No, they put out Cars 2. From that point on, I started to wonder, and any new movie that came out is
after Cars 2, it's been a little rocky. With prequels, sequels.
Yeah.
Well, sort of a mixed bag. Brave was the next one, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, Brave was the next one.
I like Brave. Brave was good. I mean, it was a kind of goofy story.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
No, it was a goofy story, but I liked the animation a lot, and I thought Meredith, her hair was very well animated.
Yeah, that was actually, the animation was pretty good on that movie.
Mind you, all of them are really good. They're just getting better and better.
Yeah. And
maybe a little too better in some cases.
Sometimes a little freaky.
Like Toy Story 4 is a little too much in the better direction.
Yeah, but things started to get.
Monsters University was kind of a softball.
It was, but I didn't dislike it.
But it wasn't what everyone was waiting for.
Yeah. And then 2015, The Good Dinosaur came out.
Oh. Even he realizes.
Even he realizes.
Well, we're not going through every movie, but yeah, The Good Dinosaur. I have a little notation here with down arrow next to that one.
Yeah, you know what? Like you could bug on Cars 2 all you want, but
it's a Good Dinosaur.
Good Dinosaur.
All that did was advance animation a little bit. Who cares? The story was horrible.
Yeah. I kind of want to go back and I've only watched it once, to be honest with you. I kind of want to go back and give it another chance.
I've watched it more than enough.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever actually watched it all in one sitting.
Good for you.
I really don't think I ever have. I've seen bits and pieces. My one, Jack watches it. He doesn't watch it. He doesn't even watch it. So he's even discerning about that one.
You might want to explain who Jack is, because everyone's only familiar with Jack on the
Yeah, Jack's our youngest, and he's on the autism spectrum, and he just he'll pop into our WDW POV live streams at whim. I mean, we'll be in the middle of the show, and he'll just sort of pop in and out.
He'll bring some Play-Doh with him, or he'll bring some Lego blocks or something.
Yeah. We never know what we're gonna get with him when he comes in, but it's always fun. It's
that
always
live
fun.
show, I don't know, man. Do you ever have a topic on that one?
Yeah, we do, but it usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, if you don't tune into that at the beginning and you come in halfway through, you're not going to guess what the topic is for 20 minutes.
Well, it's funny because, sometimes we'll get to...
If you come in about half an hour, you might get there when the topic starts.
It's starting, yeah.
True
it's
enough.
about a half hour just to get warmed up sometimes.
That's your fault.
Oh, whatever. But then we get somebody who makes a comment about something, and if it's interesting, we'll run with it. We'll go off on a tangent and talk about something completely different. Sort of like what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
we're supposed to be talking about Pixar.
Exactly. We started talking about Pixar. Okay, so what are we talking about? We're talking about our favorite Pixar movies, our top 5. Is that what we're doing?
Top 3.
We're doing 3.
Top 3. Okay.
And in some cases, we're just doing
in no particular order.
Well, I'm doing them in a particular.
Well, mine, I'm not doing them in a particular order.
Okay.
But let's just say them one at a time.
Let's start with our top 3 movies. How's that?
Top 3 favorites.
So we'll do like a, you can do one, I'll do one, Stan can do one.
Yeah.
We'll go around and sort of round robin this thing. So I'm going to go with let me start with what I consider my 3rd favorite Pixar movie. I'll start with that one. I'm going to throw Toy Story 3 into that category. Ooh. And I actually, in a way, almost took it off my list when Toy Story 4 came out. They sort of ruined it for me because when Toy Story 3 came out, that was like, that's a great way. That's the perfect way to end the sequel, to end the series and be done with it. No, they had to come out with a 4. So, but
just pretend 4 doesn't exist.
I'm pretending 4 doesn't exist. It wasn't a bad movie.
I don't get that. People will complain about a movie and that's it. I don't like any of the movies now. It's still like I'll give you an example. Live action Beauty and the Beast comes out, and they go, "Well, I do not like Beauty and the Beast." You can still enjoy the animated that you enjoyed as a child. You don't have to.
I don't like the new Star Wars. That doesn't mean I hate the old Star Wars now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So you could still like Toy Story 3 just because Toy Story 4 came out. You don't.
I know. But it just sort of, it's like, why did you have to do it? Just leave it alone. 3 was good.
Okay, Stan, why didn't you go next?
Okay, my number 3, The Good Dinosaur. No, I'm joking.
It's Cars 2.
We're ending this program right
now. No, it's Cars 2.
Oh wow!
It doesn't have to be your number 3. I mean, it could be just one of a group of your favorites.
I'm tossing 2 of them back and forth, and Inside Out and Finding Dory would be in my top 3 and 4. Okay. I'm going to have to go with Finding Dory.
That's interesting.
I think that Alan was just hilarious in that movie.
Who's that again?
Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, Ellen, yeah.
It sounded a little bit like Alan.
I thought you said Alan for a second.
Like, sorry. It's my Canadian accent. I think Ellen DeGeneres was absolutely hilarious in Finding Dory, and I'm gonna have to go with Finding Nemo. What am I talking?
I was gonna say, that's what I said. It was I was trying to be
lazy. Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. Thank you. You just redeemed yourself there.
Yeah. No. Yeah, Finding Nemo. I would put my number 3. Inside Out's very close.
I can handle that.
Honorable mention.
If you said Finding Dory was your number 3, I'd be a little.
Yeah, no. Finding Nemo. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, good.
I didn't know what our topic was till I just hit record. So.
I know. We tried to surprise you.
Is he trying to make fun of us now?
Is his name Stan or Stan?
It's Don, isn't it?
Stan, right?
Stan Solo.
Yeah, I don't know if he gets it.
I got it.
There's a reason.
Because of Han.
In a way, yes.
We were doing a reverse Lando on you.
Yeah, because Lando always called Han.
Yeah, Han. Yeah.
So Marcus figured he'd do a reverse Lando on you and call you Stan instead of Stan.
I never heard that one before. That was very Okay, Marcus, you're number 3.
Toy Story, the original.
The original. Good choice.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's just a good overall movie.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. We just go right. So
I'd probably put that as my number 5.
Okay.
Well, I'll just go on to my next one then.
Go right ahead. Give us another one.
Monsters Inc.
Monsters.
All mine were all my favorites are basically like before
Cars 2.
All mine are like before. Yeah, actually before Cars.
It's like BC or AD, I guess. Before Cars would be BC.
Well, actually, technically Cars is in the middle of all of this, but
BC2. BC2.
So Marcus, Monsters Inc. is your number 2?
Yeah, I think
that's not a bad choice.
I honestly, I hate to agree with you, but I agree with you.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I know. Write the date down, write the time down.
This is recorded, right?
This is being recorded. I agree. That's my number 2 as well.
You're not cutting this out of the podcast, are you?
Oh yeah, Ken's cutting this out for sure.
Yeah, edit that out. You don't want that to get released.
No, Ken,
you don't want that
Ken, don't edit this out.
Where they said AT-AT in the final video either.
Yeah, the AT-AT thing and the AT-AT thing, that's that argument's going to keep going. Anyway, my number 2 was Toy Story.
The original.
The original.
So you've got Toy Story 3 and Toy Story.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I give you one guess what number two is. Number one is.
What's that?
Well, Toy Story 2.
No, actually no. No,
Okay.
No, the one song in the middle, even though you say you enjoy it, in Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2.
The one that we always sort of just...
When somebody loves you, everybody...
I'm sorry.
You guys gonna dance too, or is this just a song? Oh my God, they're dancing now.
Okay, where were we? We're getting off.
Okay, you just said Toy Story the original for your number two.
Yeah, so I had
So 3 and then the original.
3 in the original.
Okay. I'm not sure the order you're going, because it went Jeff, Stan, Marcus, and then Marcus, Stan, Jeff. So is it Jeff's turn?
Well, I'll finish mine up.
Okay, you finish yours up.
And you did too, right? You did too?
I did my number 2. Yeah, my number 2 was Monsters Inc.
Yeah, I think
because that's what I said.
Yeah, that's right. Because you guys agreed. That screwed us all up.
Yeah.
Okay, number 1 for me, The Incredible.
Ooh,
that's my number 1.
That's mine.
And that's his too. So
and
now
we
agree on one.
Oh,
that's a good choice.
That's not mine.
Infinitely better than the second one.
Oh, the second one was okay. But yeah, Incredible's first one, it has a lot of deep meaning for me in the sense that back then it was like The Incredibles almost sort of our family ended up almost sort of mirroring their core family, not in the sense that I'm Mr. Incredible. I mean, I am.
I was going to say, you walk around calling yourself Mr. Incredible, don't you?
No, that would give his cover away.
Yeah, that's right. And my wife Patty is Mrs. Incredible.
And you never wore cape.
That's right, we do.
Yeah, so you guys mirror them exactly.
No capes.
Prague, Milan, darling. Milan.
And then our daughter, and obviously Marcus here. That would make you who again?
You know who it would make me.
Make you
Which
deaf.
Ironically,
you're slow.
I'm not that fast.
He's pretty slow. And then Jack, and that's he is. He's a turtle. But then we have Jack.
So is that why you call Jack?
That is why we call him Jack. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's not his real name. But
no.
Yeah, but that's what we call him.
Because you call yourself Mr. Incredible, so you figure you might as well call your son Jack.
That's right.
There you go.
And we have gone to Disney on occasion with all of us dressed in Incredible shirts and stuff. So that's
please tell me you weren't wearing the tights.
No.
Okay. Okay. Good.
No tights.
No, I don't think the security people would let us get in.
Yeah, you look too much like the original characters, and it would distract the other guests.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so yeah, Jack at the time, he sort of had his own superpowers. We didn't know what they were, and not really. I mean, he just it's just sort of our little parallel universe with The Incredibles there. So you like The Incredibles? What's your favorite, Stan? What's your number 1 on this?
Mine is Wall-E.
Wall-E.
I absolutely love Wall-E. That is bar none my favorite Pixar movie.
We may tend to differ on that one, but I don't mind
Really?
Wall-E. I don't mind Wall-E. I just wasn't crazy about the premise that they were this advanced civilization. They had all this stuff that they could do. They had these, cleaning robots and all this stuff, but yet they couldn't just couldn't keep the planet clean. I mean, I don't know.
Exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Exactly what's happening today.
To some extent.
People are just relying too much on technology, and they're
also not one of those people on that ship ever stopped looking at that holoscreen.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah. So we're all going to look like these big, flabby, fat people.
I already do. I'm already there. And I'm looking at a screen right now.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm.
Well, the difference is we're like miles away from each other, and in the movie they were sitting right next to each other.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We are sitting next to each other. Don't even realize it.
That's true. We're looking around. Where is he?
How you guys
on the screen?
He's staring at us through a window, I think.
Okay. So what are we doing here? We're doing our least favorite.
Let's do our least favorite. I don't know. Do you want to go with 3, or do you just want to knock this down to our 2 worst favorits?
Well, I think we pretty much all agree on our 2 least favorite. I don't think
Cars 2 and The Good Dinosaur.
There, done. There
Across
we go.
the board.
Spoiler alert.
Ding, 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 ding.
One of mine that isn't actually one of those is Brave.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't care for the story or like they totally didn't advertise it the right way. It just ended up being more accurate to a movie that should have been called Bear Mama.
Oh man, do you have another worst favorite other than Cars 2 and Good Dinosaur, or you pretty much settled on those two?
Yeah.
If you are, we can move on. I'm okay with that.
You know what? Yeah. Let's move on.
Okay. Well, here
you want to talk? You guys want to talk about underrated?
Yeah. Yep. Got that one on here. So let's go. Yeah, most underrated movie. Do you want to start us off on that one?
Brave is the most underrated movie.
And there you go. Probably good. You know what? Yeah. Okay.
You go.
No, I'm not touching it. Anyway, most underrated. I know what Marcus is going to say,
but
so I'm not going to steal your thunder. I'm just going to go with one underrated.
Okay.
And I'll let Marcus do his because I know because he's talked about this before. My most underrated I have is Cars.
Okay.
Mainly, I mean, yeah, it's still a stretch. You got a bunch of cars that somehow are sentient beings that how
they need gas, they need to eat food.
How did they build themselves? I just whatever. But
that's cool. Like two cars get together, they fall in love.
The man car.
And next thing you know, you got a Volvo.
How do you get a Cadillac?
But
that's a stud fee, isn't it? Or a Ferrari?
Oh, it's getting off the rails here. But yeah, only because I actually like the whole Route 66 aspect of it. Because it was interesting because our family, and this was before Marcus was born, but this was back in 2002. It was actually the year you were born, but you were born in December. We went on a cross-country trip, and part of it on the way out and on the way back, we actually took Route 66 as much as we could just to go the historic route, and it was fun. It was a fun thing. So I sort of connected with Cars because of that.
Before it was the popular thing to do.
Well, Cars sort of made it a popular thing to do again, and but we had already done it, and we sort of connected with it that way. At least I did.
I think Cars was just a big excuse for them to do like a big company road trip without taking their whole, big company getaway or excursion or whatever.
You mean like the directors and that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was just a big excuse.
Is Cars like underrated when you think about?
It has two sequels.
Yeah, it has two sequels. There's Cars Hotel at Walt Disney World at Art of Animation Resort.
Per se, but it has a section in a hotel.
Yeah, over at Art of Animation.
Yeah, Art of Animation has the Cars section, and then you got the entire Cars land.
Disneyland.
Right? Yeah, I guess I'm thinking of it more as a movie itself. It was like low on
it doesn't get the love it deserves by getting two sequels, a land and a hotel. You want to park.
No, it was like down as far as like Rotten Tomatoes and that type of thing. It didn't get a great rating. It got like a 75%, which by Pixar standards is pretty low. Not to compare it with 39% for Cars 2, which again, I'm not trying to get off the topic here, but Cars 2, interestingly enough, if you look at the dollar amounts of what were put into these movies, Cars 2 is in the top, it's like tied for the top 5 Pixar movies at like $200 million that they spent to create Cars 2. Toy Story 3 cost $200 million.
To create, not for grossing.
No, it's what it cost. It was what the budget was.
Okay.
But the odd thing is, Cars 2, if you look at the unadjusted gross, it's like infinitesimally just slightly less than Toy Story. Mm-hmm. Which is hard to believe
and that was at a time when inflation wasn't as big.
Yeah, no, by the current standards, it did make a lot less. But they put $200 million into Cars 2, and it was horrible. Horrible. Okay, go on. What's your?
Last one go?
No, he did.
Well, Brave.
Right, he did this because that was like because that's one of his favorites.
Also,
it doesn't get the love.
The other one too that I feel it doesn't get nearly enough love is Bug's Life.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, they just built an entire attraction in Animal Kingdom for it. Inside the main center of the park.
Wait a minute. Oh well, yeah, that's true. And
Before the movie even came out.
But they gutted Bugs Land at Disneyland.
They did.
Like a pumpkin. They gutted that area so quickly.
But yeah, that's interesting. You make a good point though about that.
That was before the movie even came out.
Yeah, Bugs Life attraction in the Tree of Life was actually
to be a
out
bug.
before A Bug's Life was released, which is,
Yeah.
most people don't realize that.
Yeah.
So
Same for dinosaurs.
Honestly, I don't think I realized that.
there you go. See, we just taught you. Okay.
See,
get
listen to the
it.
solo show, you learn something.
Yeah, sometimes you do on these things, don't you?
Okay. Apparently, all of ours have had something to do with them having a land or some sort of attraction in the park.
Okay.
But I've been saying this for years. It's Ratatouille.
You're underrated.
Even though it's getting an attraction in France at Epcot, I still feel it's one of the most underrated Pixar movies.
Okay. I could agree with that. Why do you think that?
I don't know. You just don't hear people talk about it that much anymore. Like, they talk about Up because it had that one scene at the beginning of the movie all the time.
Oh, the tearjerker. I mean, they get you on the tearjerker with that one.
Which, to be fair, Michael Giacchino, or how do you even pronounce that name?
Don't ask Stan.
Don't ask me. What are you asking me for?
He's just one of the best composers that they have.
No, he is.
did The Incredibles, Ratatouille, and Up.
Yeah, he is a very good composer. That guy is
Like, you don't hear people talk about how good Ratatouille was as a story or for its music.
You know why Ratatouille is underrated? Most people don't like it because of the name. It's like Rat Patootie, which is not.
Okay,
Okay, Jerry Seinfeld.
The more you talk about
It does not sound delicious.
the more you talk about Ratatouille, the more you realize some of the problems with it, though. Like, you had all the rats stealing food from that refrigerator, and they were all touching it and hiding inside the food. Would you like to see a Gordon Ramsay situation of that on Kitchen Nightmares? You got rat hair in there. That's bloody disgusting. You're serving that to your customers.
Yeah, that would have been interesting if Gordon Ramsay stepped in at that moment with all those rats there.
Well,
Hell's Kitchen.
now again, so Ratatouille did have the puppet animatronic type Ratatouille at the French Pavilion. There is like you said, there's an attraction in France. There's one coming to Epcot. It's the track still.
Right.
Dave has nothing. I mean, I guess you got Meredith as a meet and greet
with its own area.
Yeah, she's a princess.
You could say the same for Tangled too. It has its own area that is a bathroom.
Yeah, that's underrated.
We honor you with this bathroom, Tangled.
It's a nice bathroom, by the way.
It is a very nice bathroom.
Not Pixar, but still.
It's not Pixar. If it were a Pixar, though, I would definitely put that in as underrated because they don't get a lot of love. You get
Frozen.
Frozen's overrated, but that's again we're getting off topic here, Marcus. Okay.
Do we want to talk a little bit about the future of Toy Story of Pixar?
The future of Pixar. Well, we got what's coming out? We got
Onward
coming out March 6th. Yeah, which we will, I'm sure, see that opening night.
I don't know about that one. The more that I've seen the trailers for it, the less excited I've become for it in some way.
You know what's weird though? Because sometimes, like, and again, it's not a Pixar movie, but I remember when Tangled, the trailers came out for Tangled, and I was like, these trailers don't really grab me. They just don't really excite me. But something inside, I kept saying, this is going to be a good movie. Let's go see it anyway. And we did, and it is. It's literally one of my favorite Disney movies.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping maybe that's the same with the Onward trailers.
The first trailer that came out from Onward was amazing, where it was like, it seemed like it was going to be set in the mythical time.
Except modernized.
At the beginning before, then they went to the unicorn eating the garbage, and the guy was late to meet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first trailer, I was really stoked after that first trailer, but it seems like every trailer that comes out, I'm less and less interested in it.
Yeah. I think you've hit that one. Yeah, I think the first one was.
I just said that.
Yeah, but it was. Yeah, the more recent ones, I'm like, okay, whatever. But I'm hoping for a good one. I could really use some lighthearted time out at the theater, seeing a nice Pixar film. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Then the next one to come out is Soul on June 19th.
Correct.
Which is very similar, I hear, to like Inside Out, but it's like feelings having feelings is how they describe it.
Yeah. I'm not quite
feelings
sure
having feelings.
I'm not quite sure how
If your feelings had feelings, how would they feel? Like,
what?
Yeah, because I thought the same thing. I'm watching the trailer and I'm like, I'm seeing a little bit of Inside Out here. Is this going to be any different?
Extremely better animation by the looks of it.
Oh, yeah, the animation and the trailers usually when they come out with those are not even up to full standards.
This looks infinitely better than Inside Out in my opinion.
Okay.
Like Inside Out, the colors and everything just looked dull. Like even before she was supposed to be, losing control of her emotions or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say part of it was because they were trying to
even before that,
make it look like it was dull because she was sad.
Like even before and after,
no emotion.
Everything just looked dull to me.
Speaking of Inside Out, that's a Pixar movie that really doesn't get very much love in the parks. You got the meet and greets, but other than that, I can't really think of anything. For Inside Out.
Yeah, not much.
Another one, really.
You have you've got joy and sadness, and that's pretty much it.
You want to hear a movie that's overrated?
Overrated movie. Okay.
Overrated movie.
Let's hear it.
You're probably not going to like this, Stan. It's WALL-E.
WALL-E is so underrated. There's like nothing WALL-E in the parks. Like it's underrated. It's such a good film.
Yeah, except people call WALL-E and Up the best Pixar movies of all time in some cases.
Yeah, some people do. Everybody has a different point of view, and that's what makes the world go round, right?
I just feel that I don't care for WALL-E's story basically having the main characters not talk.
There's not a ton of dialogue, I will give you that. But that's
they
actually
do it
sort
so
of
well.
interesting.
But they do it so well. Like even though there's no dialogue, both WALL-E and Up, there's very little dialogue in the first hour or 20 minutes in the movie, whatever it is.
Hour 20 minutes.
No, 20 minutes or whatever it is. And it really holds you. They're done extremely well.
Yeah.
Well, Up didn't really need the dialogue in like the first 20 minutes. They were just trying to convey this is what's happened over the course of his life.
Yeah, but they did it. They just played music. They showed you the scenes. They, very,
And WALL-E,
it was a surreal type thing. And then they do the tearjerker. I'm like, Disney never does that.
And then in WALL-E, you have a robot playing with a bra. Yeah, that's real emotional and actually draws me into
Okay. They didn't have quite the tearjerker in that one.
We have indestructible cockroaches that eat Twinkies that haven't been destroyed over the course of 700 years either.
It's all
Don't
realistic.
forget to get your
it's all very realistic.
Centennial cupcake in a cup.
That's it.
Why would you get that?
Oh, man.
Oh boy. What about the Pixar short? Are there any of those that stand out for you?
Pixar shorts.
Even though I don't like the movie it was with or debuted with, and you guys think it's really weird, I like Bao.
Oh, Bao.
Okay. Yeah.
That was weird.
Like
was weird.
That one makes me cry almost every time at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's an emotional one for sure.
It was.
Absolutely it is. Yeah.
It was a little freaky though when the mom just ate him.
Everyone called that, by the way.
Yeah.
Like 5 seconds before it happened in the theaters, everyone called that.
Yeah, we were. Our family was all sitting. She's not going to do. No, she's not real. Yeah, and then she did it. I was like, oh man, seriously. I know. I think I like the I like Lava. I like that one. With the volcanoes. I like that one. It's
I think the first one he did was that Toy Soldier or Tin Soldier or whatever.
Tin Toy. Actually,
yes.
One of the very first ones was what was that? Knick Knack. Tin Toy and Knick Knack were like their first ones.
Yeah.
And The Adventures of Wall-E B or whatever that was. That one was just weird.
The only one I didn't care too much for actually was that Pearl that kind of came out recently.
What?
It was it was like she was like a ball of yarn working in the office.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
it came out to promote Disney Plus.
Yeah. It was one that was not a movie short, but it was one of those newer shorts that they've been coming out with. Yeah.
Those have all just been weird.
The one with the two guys playing chess. And
Gary's game. The two guys playing chess. You mean the one guy?
But it's one guy. Yeah, but they film it like it's two.
Yeah. Well, they don't film it like it's two. The very first few times, they actually just fully animate him walking over to the other chair.
You're right. No,
that is good. That is a good one. I like that.
That is a good one as well.
And they use that old guy and another.
That is technically, they do say that is actually the guy in Toy Story 2.
Yeah, it is. The guy who does the little paint job on Woody.
You can't rush. All right.
Now, do you think that they reuse characters like that to save money, or do they reuse characters like that to honor the fans, or to put a tip of the hat to the fan, or put an Easter egg in?
You can say it's a bit of both, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it is fun because then, like you said, you watch Toy Story 2 and you're like, hey, that's the guy from that show.
I think just regular Disney and Pixar share 3D animation assets at this point.
But Hold on a second.
Like, I think they just share some of their assets that they have saved at this point. Like the van that they use in Onward looks an awful lot like the van that they use in Zootopia, which is not a Pixar movie.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because, even with the traditional animation, especially it seemed like back in the 70s. And
yeah, shortly
after
80s. Walt died. It actually, people actually say it.
they reused a lot of animation back then.
Too much
sometimes. But yeah, so I mean, it is probably a little both, but partly to save money. But
that was completely to save money, though. When they reused animation back then, that was 100% to save money.
Yeah, back then
it was a little more work to actually figure out how to reuse it than it was to just draw a new one.
But it was definitely not to pay tribute to anything back then. It was just money. Yeah.
Exactly. But what was funny back then, there was that was from Robin Hood. They had Robin Hood and Aristocats. And you know darn well they were thinking no one's going to figure this out.
No.
Little did they know the internet's going to come along in a couple of decades.
Oh man, exactly.
Pretty quick and pass
everybody
it
just do side by side screen snips of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I mean, Pixar, it's been around for as far as the movie entity that we mostly know and love, as far as starting with Toy Story, coming up on 25 years now. Love a lot of the movies, dislike a few, but I'd say for the most part, I mean, Pixar is pretty much hit home runs with almost everything.
They were stable until 2011.
Well, okay, Cars 2 was their downfall, but after that they recovered.
We've been on a gentle incline in quality.
There you go.
Yeah, I really want to go back and rewatch those two, Cars 2 and Good Dinosaur, just to. I mean, it's not high on my list of going back, but I really want to go back and rewatch them just to see how. I honestly, I think I blacked out most of it. And I've only watched them once. Each one.
Good luck on that.
Stan, here's some light advice. If you're about to do something, think about it again, think about it one more time, and then don't do it.
Why do I get the feeling your mom tells you that every day?
It's not every day. It's just about once every 2 weeks, maybe. I hear that one.
I thought like every time on your way out the door, she tells you that.
Yeah.
What do you mean out the door?
I mean, when you think about Cars 3, which wasn't a great movie in itself either, but Cars 3 pretty much ignored that Cars 2 ever existed.
Yeah.
I mean, they just brushed over
no recognition that Mater was knighted or anything like that.
Yeah, let's ignore that abomination.
No, the hotel that features Cars actually mentions that he's Sir Mater.
Oh, that's right. There is some mention of him in Art of Animation. So, Anyways,
so I want to thank you guys for joining me. This was great. You guys are a lot of fun. I enjoyed talking to you too.
We appreciate it. Appreciate being on.
Yeah, I mean, you could have picked a better topic, but whatever. This is good.
We could have picked no topic. Would you like to see how that went?
That's the great thing. That's the great thing about you guys being co-hosts versus guests. If I have a guest on, I got to be nice to him the whole time. If I have a co-host, I can rub it in once in a while. So, anyways. We got to wrap this up. I want to ask you, the listener, what is your top 3 favorite Pixar movies, and what is your top 3 least favorite Pixar movies, and what do you think is overrated and underrated? You know what? Write it in the comments on our Facebook page, and tune into the Point of View WDW, what is it, POV WDW and Monorail Tales.
Yeah, WDW POV. That's it.
I think that's what I said. I probably. Yeah. Anyways, you guys are awesome. Have a great night. Ken? Oh, hang on. Before I say Ken, do you guys have any last words?
If all the comments agree with me, I have been validated in life.
He's looking for people to validate.
If you agree with Marcus, don't write in. Don't write those comments. And if no one puts any comments, that means they all agreed with you. So I'm picking myself into a corner here.
Yeah, that's not good. That's
all
not
right.
good.
Have a great night, guys. Ken, take it away.
Okay, look, guys. I know I'm normally just the voiceover guy, but I got to get my 2 cents worth in here. It's at, or also acceptable, Imperial Walker. And that's the bottom line. Okay, now. If you have a brilliant idea for a future edition of The Solo Show and would like to join the adventure in the guest host's chair, then drop us an email at thesoloshow01@gmail.com. If you would just like to keep the conversation going, then visit us on our Facebook page at The Solo Show. And come back for the next edition of The Solo Show. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.